Hey, Miguel Dorati back here with the Wage Rage. And for the CRP podcast, obviously, the Wage Rage, going over the odds for this week in the fight world. And we're going to look at odds for Sunday, March 17th. We got Uncle Bob Arum, Top Rank, are at Madison Square Garden Theater. And, keep in mind, March 17th, this is St. Patrick's Day, right? So what do you get out of Bob Arum? In New York City, Michael Conlan. Michael Conlan, minus 7,000 favorite as he takes on Ruben, Garcia, Hernandez. Garcia Hernandez obviously being brought in to do the job. Garcia Hernandez a plus 2,800 underdog there. So that's the main odds there. The bottom line is you got another super lightweight bout there. Josue Vargas minus 2,825. Adriano Ramirez plus 1,360. And the main event comes in the welterweight division. Now this fight pits a couple veterans, and this is a near pick'em fight, so you want to keep an eye out. And on Sunday night, there's this fight, which has some potential title repercussions. You got veteran Collazo. He's at minus 120, taking on Colombian Samuel Vargas at minus 110. Collazo being talked about as a potential opponent for the return of Keith Thurman. Vargas looking to spoil that party, and it's a real, out of Columbus, Vargas' story, one of those guys that really wants to make it, coming in hungry. He realizes he's getting a spot here, but this is Michael Conlan's card from what Top Rank is dealing with. Bottom line is Bob Arum signed a lot of the Olympians out of 2016. Conlan was one of them. There were famous pictures. Conlan was robbed with the judges down there. There were famous pictures of him and Bob, 80-year-old octogenarian Bob Arum giving the fingers to the judges and stuff like that. So Bob is personally invested in Michael Conlan. Now we see a little bit of why. Michael Conlan, they've gotten his career up to about 10-0, and he brings all of Ireland watching in box, right? So as an Olympian in the pro ranks, the idea is there that he's going to be somebody who draws in the whole country. Now, on top of that, they recently announced, and I'm talking about Bob Arum and Top Rank, a deal with MTK to bring MTK, which is a European gym and a European representation company, onto the platform with ESPN that they've been working on. And the bottom line here is Michael Conlan's brothers work for MTK. They've been there the whole time. One of them is in charge of development of the fighters, and the other one's a graphic designer, I think. So, he signed Conlan in 2016. It starts to lay the groundwork. You start to know each other. They start to watch how Conlan's career has progressed under Top Rank, and all of a sudden there's enough there to do a deal. So we're going to get the MTK roster on the ESPN apps through the Top Rank deal. So everybody's going to make some money there. Bottom line is the MTK roster in England, mainly in England. The Marbella gym's actually in Spain, and it's a complicated business they have out there. The bottom line is that's what it is. It's complicated. It's big. They represent over 140 fighters. So that news is a very big deal. And of course, that may not have happened if somehow, Michael Conlan gotten beat up in fight number 3 or 4. So Bob Arum being very careful, bringing Michael Conlan along. Now we start to see how this whole thing expands. You think Michael Conlan's not going to get a big payday at some point on ESPN when he fights a world championship fight? Good stuff. That's 2019's Boxing World. We got odds for the Madison Square Garden Theater this Saturday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Michael Conlan on Broadway, brought to you by Top Rank. You can catch the fights on DAZN, and we've been talking about Michael Conlan's ties to ESPN and Top Rank's big deal with MTK as well. I'm Miguel Dorati. These odds probably won't change, but we'll look at it and keep an eye on Vargas Collazo. Could be one of the most competitive fights of the weekend. I'm Miguel Dorati for the CRP.